Like what?
Like how your little piggies taste.
I've been pretty hyped ever since I saw the first trailer for Lee Cronin's The Mummy. It promised us a dreadful and suffocating horror story, and I'm glad to say Cronin ate and left no crumbs. I remember the movie getting into controversies with the title, and yeah, this is nowhere near the Mummy franchise we grew up with, but is that a bad thing? Absolutely not, because Cronin did complete justice to the name and gave us something very crucial. See, mummification isn't just a process, there's a whole bunch of rituals and mythology surrounding it, and what Cronin did is throw light on this less explored side. In our opinion, it was a brilliant take on what a mummy entails in the modern world. Now, that being said, the climax was an out-and-out horror show, and if you closed your eyes for a minute or missed how it was all connected, let me do some explaining. Welcome back to our channel for a brand new video on Endings and Entities Explained, and this one's about a little girl who was subject to a terribly gruesome process. Let's get into it. So, what is the story about? At the beginning of the film, we're thrown into two family dynamics. One is that of the Cannon family, which is comprised of Charlie and his wife Larissa, and their two kids, Katie and Sebastian, with a third daughter on the way. Charlie is a news reporter who's currently working in Cairo, and Larissa is a nurse, with the two managing their job and taking care of the kids. They are a really happy and adorable family. The other one is that of Layla, her two brothers, and her parents. Layla's dad and sibling are what you could call normal and cheerful, but her mother, well, long story short, she's evil and mean. As seen from the trailer, we know Katie falls victim to some malevolent forces, and turns out it's none other than Layla's mother, whom she calls a magician. The movie sets up the idea early on that Layla and her husband, who honestly looks like he got dragged into it, are keeping a mummy hidden in their house. And for some reason, they're concerned that the mummy has woken up. Why? Because Layla's pet bird died inexplicably, oozing black liquid from her mouth. Yup, that black liquid is very important to the plot, so keep it in mind. The witchy woman's fear comes true, and the mummy does come to life, which means they now have to look for another fresh person to put in a basalt sarcophagus. And obviously, it happens to be Charlie's little butterfly, Katie, who gets kidnapped from her own backyard garden. Now, Katie isn't a random choice. It's soon revealed that Layla used to be her friend, and through her, the woman has been grooming her, giving out candy and everything. So when she comes to take Katie away, the little girl doesn't scream or anything. Rather, she starts enjoying the woman's magic tricks, one of which causes a scorpion to come out of an apple and into Katie's mouth, choking her. And then it's done. Katie has been gone for 8 years, and her family shifted to Albuquerque and is staying with Larissa's mother. On the surface, they try to be as normal as possible with their youngest daughter and son, but deep down, Charlie and Larissa have been carrying the guilt and trauma of losing Katie and are basically running on survival instincts. Fortunately, things take a happy turn for them. A call from the Egyptian embassy informs them that they've found Katie and she's alive. Well, that definitely calls for a celebration, right? And Grandma is right on track. She's got this cake and flowers prepared for Katie's homecoming, but the parents, on the other hand, are getting a series of do's and don'ts from the doctor. And us, we got a glimpse of something so utterly horrific, it crawled right under our skin. Pun very much intended, and let me tell you why. The doctor makes it clear that Katie has gone through severe dermal trauma for being locked in all these years and due to malnutrition. However, her heart and vitals are absolutely fine. Something fishy going on here. Anyways, when Charlie and Larissa finally see their baby girl after all this time, they probably had their hearts in their mouths but couldn't run away because, it's their kid after all. There she is with a grotesquely deformed face, a kind of blackish wrinkled skin, self-inflicted scratches on her face, and bent fingers that basically look like claws. Oh, and the nails. There's no mani-pedi on earth that could possibly salvage them. They're scary long, stiff, and just icky. The doctor warns them that Katie is showing signs of extreme movements, verbal tics, and is behaving erratically. She's been kept in a catatonic state for the last 8 years and is now under sedation. Also, she can no longer talk as a side effect of the trauma. You'd think that someone sensible would refer Katie to some institution for recovery, but no. Family love and support is apparently the best treatment for her now, so they bring her back. Almost immediately after her grandma chants a prayer, Katie starts contorting in a terrifying manner, which, by the way, we're convinced was a delightful nod to Regan from The Exorcist. In fact, there's another homage as well. where Katie throws up greenish fluid, but Lee Cronin took the possession horror to another level. Sorry, small spoiler there, but I'm sure you guys knew what we were in for here. Katie is obviously not a human anymore. She's possessed, but oh boy, the things she can do as a supernatural entity are, like, I don't know, man. It made me feel like I was watching a really good horror movie after a really long time. And I'm not easily satisfied. For starters, she moves around scarily fast, which at times almost seems like she's flying from one location to another, and she's eating weird stuff, like insects. Also, there's a sudden surge in coyote activity, which clearly has to do with Katie and the thing inside of her. Charlie soon senses something's wrong, but her mom isn't willing to let Katie out of her sight and takes up the challenge of restoring her health. This starts with cleaning her hair and cutting her nails, and Larissa accidentally strips away a chunk of her skin while cutting her toenail. Now, that's a personal nightmare come to life, but for Katie, it felt like a little bit closer to freedom. As it so happens, her dad rightly snoops around when he finds the part of the ripped skin and extracts layers of what looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics. However, an archaeology scholar, Dr. Bixler, clarifies that the language is something even more ancient, known as hieratic, and it's the first cursive text in Egyptian language. The inscriptions found on Katie's body show that it's been used to keep the demon Nasmuranian. It's an ancient devil existing even before the time of Jesus and is known to destroy families and communities by turning people against each other. Yup, it's pretty simple to do the math. Katie is being used as a vessel for Nasmuranian, who was not supposed to get out of that basalt sarcophagus, but somehow events led to it. Soon, she starts up with the typical demon behavior and even kills her grandma, saying,
Don't worry, Grandma. It's fun to be dead.
She causes a huge ruckus, and by this point, everyone in her family has figured out that whatever this thing is, it's not their daughter or sister. Enter Officer Dahlia Zaki from the Zamalek Police Department, whom Charlie gave info to. Okay, tiny note here. As a kid, she had learned Morse code from her dad and somehow made sounds using her teeth to convey to her dad a name. Layla. Zaki connects the dots and finds Layla and her mother, and the truth as well, through a VHS tape. Zaki brings it over to the Cannons, and it all finally starts making sense. Layla's mother is from a family that has been containing the devil, Nasmuranian, for ages in different bodies. Once the body is spent, the woman and her cult-like group conduct a ritual where a fresh body is offered to the Nasmuranian to feed on and sealed in the sarcophagus. Layla's mother says a living human can do the job, but an innocent child is best as the body lasts longer. The new host is then held before the old one, from whose face a black liquid, which is basically the soul of the devil, is transferred into the other vessel. And then they paste the clothes containing mythical chants onto the body, which over time fuses with the skin as a result of the mummification process. You get that skin pun now? Basically, when those clothes are ripped off, Nasmuranian is slowly coming out from the ritualistic shackles that have kept him in control in the sarcophagus. Right as everyone figures things out, right when everyone's figuring things out, Katie too has been completely overtaken by Nasmuranian, who's removed all the hieratic incantations and is now totally free. The demon starts possessing both the living and dead, brutally harming Charlie and even manipulating Grandma's dead body to put a scarab in Zaki's mouth, which tears through her vocal cords. Yes, both Sebastian and Maud, Katie's siblings, are mind-controlled by the entity, and they start behaving very aggressively, while Seb even tries to kill his mother. Their only hope is that Zaki has somehow learnt the charms from the video, and to save Katie from being devoured by Nasmuranian, Charlie decides to sacrifice himself. Zaki repeats the chants, but the demon seizes Charlie as its new host, forcing him into a sarcophagus too. But here's the catch. Zaki had actually shot Layla's mother when she went to investigate her house and unearthed the secret, but she had kept her alive, restrained to a hospital bed. A phone call between her and Larissa leads to a pact. We end up with a happy ending, at least to the extent which shows the two women teaming up against Layla's mom and preparing her for use as the new vessel into whom they would transfer Nasmuranian to from Charlie's body. The movie does end on a somewhat satisfying note for the Cannon family, but as far as the Nasmuranian is concerned, the demon has not been banished entirely, and it can very well find its way to other innocent families. It has just been shifted to another body, which does open room for a potential sequel. Entity explained. Oh boy, really hope I'm not invoking some kind of ancient mummy curse by talking about Nasmuranian so much, but As we said, this is a 3,000-year-old devil whom Layla's family has been keeping confined in different hosts, and so far, they've used over 80 people. The demon is known for moving as a shadow among people and traveling from one person to the next, who was suddenly gone by 2000 BC. Yet, the apparent disappearance is due to Layla's ancestors, who have been using ceremonial bindings for generations to keep it from breaking free and causing havoc. But when Katie was awakened, it gave Nasmaranian the chance to exercise free will. As a result of using Katie's body, the girl's face looked hideous and her entire body decayed. It also exploited Katie's body by making her harm herself, like digging her leg wound with a fire poker. All the things she's been doing, spitting on her mother's face, crawling at frightening speed, and flinching at the word "Amen," are actually all Nasmaranian. We don't get a chance to see how the devil actually looks, not even through old sketches or statues, but we definitely get to see what it can do. This might be an unpopular opinion, but we felt Nasmaranian is even stronger than Pazuzu. I mean, we love The Exorcist, but this friggin' guy? Holy crap. I mean, this demon can possess more than one person at a time and control their minds. Nasmaranian first possessed Maud, the youngest daughter of the Canons, in a brutal levitation and thumping against the door sequence. Mind you, it didn't even touch her or even look at her. It did all of this from behind a door. From the next day on, Maudie starts abusing her teacher, laughing at her grandma's corpse, and tearing out her own teeth. Coming to grandma's death, Nasmaranian loses it when the old woman again tries to use God to save Katie. The demon uses a cross to choke her, lifts her from the ground, and blows, slamming the woman into the windows behind her and breaking them. And of course, you've got the typical demon manipulation, changing voices and speaking in a sometimes husky, grainy voice, while at other times using Katie's baby voice to deceive her siblings. It can also mess with electricity and flickering lights, and even toy with the water flow. There's one scene where Larissa starts filling up a bathtub, and suddenly, the water changes to a black liquid, which indicates that Nasmaranian is taking over. The family members attempt to keep it locked in the room, but guess what? It breaks through the ceiling and crawls on the goddamn walls like a spider before punching through Granny's coughing and munching on her. In our books, Nasmaranian is one of the scariest and nastiest monsters we've ever laid eyes on. There are some cliched jump scares, yes, but Cronin executes them extremely well, like a wheelchair moving on its own, or a door closing simply due to Nasmaranian's influence. Coming to unique qualities, it manages to cause a sandstorm inside the house, and it has a weird fetish with nails. Once it's free from the occultist spells, it becomes indescribably violent, and there's a good amount of gore and crudeness. Some are calling it a spiritual sequel to Evil Dead Rise due to the mutilation, profanity, and blood splatters. However, if you really think about it, they all served a purpose and have been employed in a way to portray just how strong and menacing Nasmaranian is and the amount of willpower and magic it requires to constrain it. However, even when the demon has ruined Katie physically and mentally, she does get control of her mind and body for some brief moments, which allows her to tell Layla's name to her father and live a normal life once the demon is expelled. The same thing happens to Charlie, who manages to spell out "I love you" to his family in Morse code from inside the sarcophagus. Perhaps a sequel will reveal the truth behind Nasmaranian's rise and its true form, or perhaps it's nothing but a shadow keeping people trapped in fear that it could break free any day, lurking quietly in the corners. Yup, the irony in that sentence is palpable. Sadly though, guys, that's all we got for today. This one's definitely going on our list of the best horror movies of 2026, and Cronin has done an excellent job at dealing with deeper themes like tragedy and family ties, exploring them just enough without overshadowing the outright horrific aspects of Nasmaranian's story. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up because it lets us know you want to see more of this kind of thing in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.